Hi, my name is Marco Castillo, and I'm a second-year MBA student and Center for Digital Strategies Fellow at the Tuck School of Business at Dartmouth College. I'm here with Tom Mills. Tom is the Global Director of Enterprise Education at Google. He is joining us as part of the Britt Technology Impact Series. Welcome to Tuck, Tom.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, Tom, for all the people who might not be familiar with the services that Google offers in terms of education, could you tell us a little about those offerings and the role of cloud computing?
Sure. Well, I'm within Google Enterprise, which is the group that takes the various Google technologies and we productize them and offer them out to various organizations, whether they're education or commercial entities. So probably the most well-known one is Google Apps, which is Gmail, Calendar, Docs for communication and collaboration. That's something that we've been giving free to education since it launched in 2006. We have over 16 million students now around the world using it, students and faculty members. And a lot of the motivation is that Google was founded by two students using technology to solve big problems. And so we'd like to offer the technology to today's students so they can continue to use it in exciting and innovative ways. More recently, we've also expanded into Chromebooks, which is a device that it's kind of like a notebook computer, but it allows you to access just web-based applications. So it's really built truly for the web.
I can see a lot of innovation going on. So can you tell me a little about what is the relationship between cloud computing and innovation? Like, how is the cloud computing offerings helping you innovate? Like, is it cheaper? Is it most efficient, faster?
I think there are a few different things. Speed is probably the most common element across all of it. Speed of information and speed of communication. So for instance, within Google Apps, you can have multiple people on a single document or on a single spreadsheet. For instance, I was driving up here this morning and back in Mountain View, California, there was a video conference between 3 different physical locations and they dialed me in and I was still able to interact, all just using the free Google tools. So that was really, really powerful. Additionally, because with cloud computing, since we're maintaining the infrastructure for you, it allows the customers to focus on the innovation. So instead of having to put effort into building up just the basic infrastructure to make it work, they can focus on the things that are more particular to their needs and use cases and push forward from there.
Are there any challenges that might actually delay the adoption of all those services and offerings?
Sure, there can be. When Google was founded back 14 years ago, it was a consumer web company 100%. And we have built a very, very large infrastructure around the world to offer this, and that's what allows us to really drive the cloud computing innovation that we do. That being said, as we continue to grow within the enterprise space for both businesses and universities, there can be regulatory issues that don't necessarily play well with the consumer web. So we're continuing to work on things that will help us address some more of the regulatory concerns as we get deeper into those markets.
It's very interesting because when people think of Google, people think of a consumer-oriented company. They don't think of enterprise. Like, what are the main differences, you already mentioned one, between serving consumers and serving enterprises?
I think more than anything, we see the two sides converging. I don't just work at my desk anymore. When I graduated college back in the 90s, I actually did. I only worked at my desk in my office, and if I wanted to work on a weekend, I had to physically go into my office to go do work. Now, as long as I have a device on me, whether it's my phone, a tablet, a PC, Mac, whatever it might be, I can get to all my work and it's working anytime, any place type of thing. So I think that's what we've really seen is that the consumers have an expectation of how technology should work, and we're helping to push that consumerized technology and consumer-tested technology too. We have hundreds of millions of Gmail users that give us feedback on how they like to work with Gmail. That makes our enterprise offerings better. The consumerization of IT is definitely something that we've seen a lot of, and by having so many users test the products in the field and give us real feedback, we're able to bring that into the enterprise product offerings at the same time.
What is your vision for the future of both the enterprise, education, and pretty much and the role that cloud computing is going to take in this future?
Well, I think cloud computing is definitely something that's here to stay. When we first launched back in 2006, and I would give various presentations and so forth on Google Apps, we had a very different reaction than we get now, a lot more skepticism, and now there's a lot more, how do we make this happen, as opposed to, I don't think we want to make this happen. So that's definitely encouraging. In terms of where it goes, I think what Google tends to do is stay at a relatively generic, broad level where everybody needs to do word processing or spreadsheets or communicate back and forth. But then it's up to each of the different industries or individual institutions to make the most out of it. So if you don't have to worry about doing X% of the job that you did before cloud computing, how can you redeploy those resources in more innovative ways? We don't necessarily know the answer. If you were to ask us for a roadmap 3 years ago, we could have given you some directional guidance, and on some things we would have been exactly right. On some things, there's no way we could have known, how things would be evolving so quickly. So we try to stick with the web, open standards, being able to access it from any device. So there's really no lock-in, and it allows for a lot of flexibility. But then hoping that people like Dartmouth and other organizations can stand on our shoulders and do things that they could only do with our help, but not necessarily with our direct guidance.
Okay. Thank you very much, Tom.
Thank you.
On behalf of the Center for Digital Strategies, we want to thank you again for chatting with us. Your words have been very insightful. This has been Marco Castillo for the Center of Digital Strategies at the Tuck School of Business.